facing an unstoppable threat. You guys are our last chance.
I guess we're stuck together. Partners.
Are you telling me that the fate of 12 billion people is in the hands of a thief, 2 thugs, a murderer, and a maniac?
This might not be the best idea.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna hurt. I have a plan. You've got a plan. I have part of a plan. That's a fake laugh. It's real. Totally fake.
I'm Groot.
Thank you.
I think the biggest challenge really, or, what I focused on the most was, the fact that there was a talking raccoon at the middle of the movie meant that I had to really make that character as real and as deeply felt as possible. I didn't want this to be like Bugs Bunny in the middle of the Avengers. I wanted to create a real, full, true, heartfelt character, and that was the biggest challenge. It is. I think for me, Groot is the innocence of the movie. He's the most loving of all the characters. He's the one who's the quickest to embrace the others. And so that was very important for me. Rocket is an angry little guy who's very lonely, very alone. As for incorporating the characters with the characters on screen, I think it just really took me planning every single aspect of the movie ahead of time so that I knew exactly what we were going to do, and that we could, make things as balanced as possible. And there was also a lot of help from my brother James Gunn, who played Rocket on set, who we used his facial expressions a lot throughout the movie, and he helped to sort of create the dynamic that is there between the different characters.
Yeah, I think, it's not so much the character changing as people's perception of the character changing. And I think it's because, they start to get to know him. They start to understand why he is the way he is, because there's definitely reasons. And I think I always tell people they need to know 2 things about him. And the first thing is that really he is a father and a husband who is heartbroken over the loss of his family. And he's has really channeled that heartbreak into revenge, into anger, into rage. And also that, Drax, he comes from a very literal race of people. So everything you say to him, he takes literally. And he also, in turn, means everything that he says. If you know those 2 things, you kind of understand him a little bit more. So I think the more you go in the film and you really understand that he's really just heartbroken. He's not just angry for no reason, he's not just a criminal for no reason. It all stems from the heartbreak over the loss of his family.
I think this movie is about a group of outcasts and misfits who all have pretty tragic family backgrounds. And they find family where they least expect it, and that is in each other. And that's the main story of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that it's very popular today for people to try to be as cool as possible, to pretend like they don't have any emotions, to be ironic about everything. And this movie's just very sincere. It's like, it's really about just loving each other and being able to care for your fellow human beings, or at least in this movie, fellow alien beings. And it's just that simple.
I think that, that is, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about this, is because you have a bunch of characters who really don't like each other very much in the beginning, but you see them come together as a group and put their own issues aside, even their own dislike for each other aside, for a bigger cause. And it's really, it's to protect people who can't protect themselves. And I think that's the big inspirational message here.
You know, for me, it's been a great experience working with this cast. I think they're all enormously talented, and I've been very lucky in that they've all been extraordinary people as well, and some of them have become good friends. Just, you know, last night, you know, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, and Chris Pratt and I were writing emails to each other, telling each other how much, you know, we loved each other and how we've become a family. In a lot of ways, we are the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I'm this guy that was creating low-budget movies just, you know, a couple years ago. Chris Pratt was like a chubby sidekick on a TV show. Zoe Saldana's this quirky, you know, fiery kid from Queens, and Dave Bautista's a wrestler who nobody took seriously. And together we came together and found, you know, a family in each other and found something meaningful and special about making this movie together. And that's been a wonderful process for me.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. This might not be the best idea.